And the go home Raw to WrestleMania 39 is in the books. Welcome to Real Take Wrestling WrestleMania week, our official go home Raw post show. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. I'm Umar Q. Leave your questions in the chat as well. You want to guarantee your question or statement gets read out on the air. Y'all know what to do. Got that little button right there that says Super Chat. Donate a Super Chat, and you can guarantee your question or statement gets read out on the air. This was the go-home show for WrestleMania 39 for Monday Night Raw. And my biggest takeaway from this show is that it was, in fact, a very, very, very typical go-home show. There was some good stuff on this show. I thought Cody versus Solo Sikoa was very good, and it was a nice match, a very nice like tune-up match, pick your poison type match for Cody Rhodes going into his big match. But outside of that, I mean, a lot of the stuff was kind of just rehashing stories, rehashing matches, rehashing stuff that we had already seen, stuff that we already knew going into WrestleMania that was just kind of being told, I think, to just set the record straight. But let's get right into it. Guys, again, as we go through this, you guys can leave your questions in the chat. We'll try to go through them. You want to guarantee your question or statement gets read on the air, you know what to do. Leave a super chat. And also be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So, Miz TV opened up Monday Night Raw. Of course, The Miz, who I believe is going to be the host of WrestleMania as well, he opened up Monday Night Raw. He had with him Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch, who this Sunday will take on Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai in a 6-women tag match. And it was an interesting segment. Now, my immediate takeaway, right, is you have 3 of the most iconic wrestlers of all time. Like, forget women's wrestlers, honestly, wrestlers of all time in Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita. 2 of them somehow still reigning as women's tag champions right now in Lita and Becky Lynch, which still, I still need to wrap my head around that because I still can't believe it. But they go out there, they do their segment on Miz TV, they're interrupted by Damage Control, and Bayley cuts a promo like that was pretty much like, hey, yeah, I went up with you. I looked up to you guys when I was coming up. And Becky, you and I came up in NXT together. And this Sunday, I'm going to beat your butt. And Becky Lynch has this way also of like cutting promos too. Like she cut the promo back against Bayley. And she has a way of like, even when she's given bad stuff, or even when she like doesn't necessarily like give it her all, like not even give it her all, it's a bad way of putting it, but even when like the content of her promos aren't the best, her delivery just kind of like it gets you, man. Like she's got that iconic like delivery in her voice, that extra something that makes you be like, man, like she is a special cat. Needless to say, they did a stare down that ended the segment. We'll see this at WrestleMania. I mean, I'm excited for the match because you get to see, like, definitely 4 of the best women's wrestlers of all time, like all-time Hall of Famers, that being Trish, Lita, Becky, and Bayley. Like, Hall of Famers, definitely the latter of the 2. And after that, like, I mean, Io Sky obviously is one of the best in the world. Dakota Kai is very underrated. I think that one of the honestly downsides of having her in Damage Control is the fact that she's a little bit, and undeservedly so, like out, like not outmatched, but like just like she just isn't, I think, highlighted enough being in that group because she's around such big personalities and such and surrounded by other talent. You know, I think the focus is always on Bayley. She's the ringleader. She's the leader of this group. And then you have Dakota Kai as well. So it is interesting, given that. I mean, that being said, it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Um. Anyway, so moving on to the next segment. What did they do to Mustafa Ali? My God, I hate Ali's gimmick. I really hate his gimmick. They have him going out there being Mr. Positivity, Mr. Believe. You're positive, Ali. I get it. It's a pun. And I'm a jobber, and I'm gonna job to Seth Rollins tonight, which is exactly what he did. Damn shame. Damn shame, because Mustafa Ali is like genuinely one of my favorite wrestlers. And he's like I remember when he asked for his release, I was really hoping that he would get it because I knew that WWE were not going to use him correctly. And I knew that WWE were not going to use him to the best of his ability. Since he's been back, he's been doing a lot of crap. And this is just more crap kind of smeared up against the walls of WWE and Mustafa Ali's place in it. Wasn't great. I thought the promo that he cut made him look weak. And I understand this is all supposed to like make Seth Rollins shine. I think Seth Rollins, by the way, in this feud with Logan Paul has been shining very well. I like Seth as a babyface in this, like almost a conflicted babyface, but at the same time he's like,
I'm Seth Rollins. That's what I do. I'm gonna beat Logan Paul, and I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. It's gonna have more subscribers.
like, I dig it. I totally do. But man, I'm just saying, you didn't have to do Ali like this. Be a Baron Corbin on this show. Yeah, Baron Corbin on this show. You could have done this with Baron Corbin. You could have done this with anyone else, is what I'm trying to say here. Like, you didn't have to do this to Mustafa Ali. Like, it was unnecessary, unconscionable, and you know what? Downright disrespectful, in my opinion. But Seth Rollins got a big win here. He cut a nice promo afterwards where he was just like,
I'm gonna beat Logan Paul, and I'm gonna stomp and.
I will say this: the curb stomp that Seth Rollins hit in the corner was absolutely insane. Kudos to Ali for selling it the way that he did, and Seth Rollins, like, of course, no one can make a curb stomp look better in execution than him. But yeah, no, I mean, you could have put anyone else in the spot. I don't understand why. One, I don't understand Ali's gimmick, and I don't understand why they put him in the spot. But it's what they did. And it is quite unfortunate, if you ask me. Let's move it on along. Omos, Brock Lesnar, the weigh-in to end all weigh-ins. Oh, my God. All right. So, Omos and Brock Lesnar had this kayfabe, like, stupid weigh-in segment. I was not looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to their match either, honestly. Like, I was very much looking forward to a rematch of between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, or as Brock says, Bobby, I'm a cowboy, Bobby. I was really looking forward to that because I thought there was still a little bit left in that feud. I think Bobby Lashley, like, no one gets like out of jobbing to people more than Brock Lesnar. Like, think about the people he's lost clean to in WWE. It's a handful of guys. Lost clean to Roman once, I think. He lost clean to Seth Rollins in that now infamous match at WrestleMania. He lost clean to, like, didn't even lose clean to, like, Taker, did he? Or did he in the Hell in a Cell? He might have lost clean in the Hell in a Cell back in 2015. But handful of guys he's ever lost clean to since he made his return. And ever since he beat the streak. And I'm just saying, like, Bobby could have gotten that win, man. Probably should have gotten that win back. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for Brock Lesnar being highlighted on TV because he is a badass. But he's also at the point of his career where you can have him lose, you know? You have your made guy. That's Roman Reigns right now. He's your made guy. He's the guy who's going to be on the billboards, on the trucks, and on your advertisement. Like, it's no longer going to be just Brock Lesnar. He's not going to be your special attraction, pal. You know, like, you need to diversify a little bit. And part of that, I think, is having other people win, and Brock put other people over. So, I thought Bobby should have been the opponent here. Omos, God bless him. God bless him. Useless in the ring. Useless. I will say this. He's an intimidating thing to look at in the ring. He's an intimidating guy to look at in the ring, I should say. And like, he is what I think he's supposed to be. That being said, the fact that he lost at WrestleMania last year to, I believe, Bobby Lashley, and that kind of took all the steam away from him because we've already seen him get beat. And all this segment did for me was prove that he's going to get beat again. Like, because what they do this BS weigh-in segment, right? Where it's like, oh my God, Omos weighs 450 pounds, Michael. He's a 7'8" Nigerian giant, Michael. Fight on Tuesday, not tomorrow. That was my JBL. I don't know why my JBL came out right now, but like you have all this, like you're having this crap segment. The only saving grace here was Brock was not having any of it. He took it, like, he came out, interrupted the segment, tipped his hat to the crowd, came in and just went spear, trying to take down Omos. And I was like, yes. The best thing he did was when he like took the scale and he like was about to throw it down, but then he decided to hit Omos with it. I was like, yes. Forget this segment. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar is an ass kicker. I was gonna say something else. He is an ass kicker, and that's what he's supposed to do. He's unafraid. He's gonna be bold. He's going to try to break Omos when possible, and he almost did a thing. He almost brought him down, but Omos eventually got a big boot on him, and he was able. And Brock was like, "Ooh, buddy, I'll see you at WrestleMania, Omos." Ha ha ha. You know, Cowboy Brock. That's what Brock in right now with that cowboy hat sounds smack like JBL in my head. I don't know why. All in all, don't know how I feel about that. It kind of. I'm not a big fan of weigh-in segments. Y'all know how I felt about Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. I mean, this was way better than that, but that being said, who cares? Street Profits, Braun Strowman and Ricochet in an 8-man tag match against Ivar, Eric, the Alpha Academy, Otis, Chad Gable. It was fine. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, the only notable thing from this happened actually after the match, where like the camera's on Otis, and then we switch to Maxine Dupree backstage of Maximum Male Models, one of the people who's been recruiting Otis to join Maximum Male Models, which, by the way, one of the few like funny things on WWE TV that I'm really enjoying right now is the Maximum Male Models gimmick. Bonsoir, and I love it. It's awesome. And the fact that Otis, as they call him now, the Riz on this, like, this dude, Otis is out here, like, just Mandy Rose back in the day had a crush on him, and then now Maxine Dupree. Otis has got something. I don't know what he's got, but he's got something. And kayfabe, the women love him. I'm sure there are a lot of women who like him regardless, but like, the women love this dude. And I'm like, I need to get a little bit of what he's got. I need to, like, maybe I got to start taking roids. Jesus. Maybe I got to get on the juice like Otis. One thing's for sure. That man is probably on the juice. I love you, Otis. Please don't hurt me. He's a monster. He'd kill me. But I mean, who isn't? It's wrestling, right? But yeah, I'm interested to see where this is going to go. Remember the Mandy Rose Otis thing going into WrestleMania 36 before, Rona destroyed that. That was like the only thing basically going into WrestleMania 36 that had like a great build. It was like the most anticipated match of that entire weekend. And people wanted to see how it would play out because that was a long-term story that they told, and we were waiting for the payoff, and we got it with Mandy Rose and Otis getting together. So maybe we'll get the same thing. Maybe we'll get a similar thing with Maxine Dupree and Otis. I am very interested to see what Chad Gable can do with this. The segments you could do, because Chad Gable's a freaking genius. Like, how this man has not factored into the WrestleMania plans, how this man has not factored into their title plans for whatever mid card title they got. That's beyond me. Like that dude is like one of the more talented dudes on the entire WWE roster. But there's some magic you could do with him and some of these maximum male model segments backstage. So give me more of that. If you want to fill like half the show with that, go ahead. But please don't fill it with like I want to. Okay, I want to preface this by saying I like Chelsea Green. I really do. And initially, I really did like the Karen gimmick that she was going for. But I'm getting kind of tired of these segments with good old Adam Pearce. I am look. If you really want to get this Karen thing over with me, go film some vignettes. Go have her like film some vignettes, like some funny vignettes of her like going to a grocery store and like her coupon's not working or something, and her just being, I want to speak to your manager. Like, you know, like go do some of that. Don't give me can I speak to the manager here? And like I have to listen to Adam Pearce and come on, man. Enough of Adam Pearce. God bless him. But he has got to be, outside of Baron Corbin, one of my least favorite authority figures on WWE TV because he is such a company stooge in storyline. He's such a company stooge. Like he just comes across as one. Like he doesn't look like he's got power. He's not respected at all backstage. Like this dude is he's just there. He's just there and he's like, I'm going to make a match because I'm Adam Pearce. Do. But whatever. End of the day, we had Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville team up in a tag team match against Mia Yim and Candice LeRae, the winner of which would go on to face go on to a tag team match at WrestleMania, which is fun. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville did win that match. It was a decent match that happened. Yeah, that's what happened there. I'm just gonna keep running through the card, guys. If you're just joining us, first of all, welcome. If you haven't already done so, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. As we continue down this road, I walk this lonely road, the only road that I've ever known. Damian Priest, Rey Mysterio. All right, the match here isn't as important. Rey Mysterio won via disqualification, interference from Dominic. The real like news out of this was Dominic Mysterio acknowledging Eddie Guerrero, and more so than he has previously, because he's like dropped the hints before, but like he straight up mentioned that Eddie Guerrero thing, and I want to talk about it. Dominic Guerrero, that's his name, people, in storyline. Kayfabe, I don't care what anyone says, he's Eddie's son. But, RIP. But Dominic Mysterio came out with Damian Priest, and he cut a scathing promo on his dad. And, man, he uttered that line. He says, Dad, I wish Eddie was my real father. And crowd groaned at it. And you were meant to groan at it because it was supposed to hurt. And that's the thing about the storyline. It's supposed to be personal. It's supposed to be the breaking up of a family. And honestly, as bad as the custody of Dominic on a pole match on a like ladder match was, custody of Dominic on a pole. Could you imagine? Just like, hello. Like little 10-year-old Dominic, like stuck a little, like, hello, I'm scared. It's very high up here. Like, oh my god. What they really should have had was Dominic, like, just hanging like over there, like, and being like, whoever gets to him first. Like, anyway. So yeah, in that storyline, it was revealed that, again, kayfabe. In that storyline, it was revealed that Eddie Guerrero was the legitimate biological father of Dominic. And that Rey Mysterio basically adopted him, as Eddie didn't want anything to do with the kid when he was born. So then like that created that whole custody of Dominic ladder match. And they called back to that with this promo. And I'm here for it because I think they should lean into it. In fact, I think Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania in Hollywood should come out with a little gangsta lean. And by that, I mean Eddie Guerrero's theme song, his heel theme song. You know, the one that went. It's about time I step into the gangsta lane. Like that, if Dominic Mysterio comes out in a lowrider and that song, chef's kiss. That is long-term storytelling, WWE. Long-term storytelling, like at its finest, because you turn something that was crap like 17 years ago into absolute gold right now. And that is what good booking is about, making it make sense. So I'm happy they did this. It's got me a little more excited about it's got me a little bit more excited about the match, even more than I was. Because, again, it's there. It's part of the canon in WWE. Use it to your advantage. I really hope he comes out to Gangsta Lean. That, like, forget the lowrider. He needs to come out to that song. Because that song, the funniest part about that song when Eddie had it was he came out to it, and the Titantron was just him beating the ever-living crap out of Rey Mysterio. Even when he wasn't feuding with Rey anymore, it was still him just beating the crap out of Rey. And it's the funniest. Like, go and Google it, or go on YouTube and like look up the Titantron for that. It's so funny. He's just beating the crap out of Rey. Like, and he's like it's sad, obviously, but it's funny. So I kind of wish that it was like the same thing. But we'll see, guys. If you haven't already done so, we are heading down the home stretch, but still time to get your questions in. You guys can put your questions in the chat. You want to support the channel, help it grow, be sure to leave a like or a super chat. Super chats are a great way to support and guarantee your question or statement gets read out on the air. Gunther, they won me over with Gunther versus Dolph Ziggler. A very European flavor here. Ziggler versus Gunther with Kaiser and Vinci. That's not even the right part of Europe. Bubbity boopy. Okay, that I should not be doing that. Sorry about that to everyone. Anyway, big nothing match. I mean, here's what I'll say about the Gunther thing, because we'll talk about it more as we review some of the other matches coming up for WrestleMania. But he has had a great run as Intercontinental Champion. I think this triple threat match is going to be a good thing for him, because it's going to be kind of like he has to fend off two challengers at once. And the fact that he can't be pinned kind of does, or he doesn't need to be pinned to lose the title, kind of does put his title reign in doubt. And I think that's a good thing for like the match itself, because normally you'd just be like, Gunther wins, lol. He's kind of like a Roman Light in that way, because, I mean, of course, because he's a mid-card champion, but it's like people don't expect Gunther to lose. So I think they could do a thing this week at WrestleMania where he does lose, but he doesn't get pinned, and then like that could set up a feud with like Drew McIntyre, and oh god, Drew McIntyre versus Gunther. Let's go. I can't wait for WrestleMania Backlash. Michael. We cut backstage then. Paul Heyman's backstage, and he is cutting this promo. He is cutting this promo on Cody Rhodes. And Paul Heyman's like so good. He's so good. There's a reason why this dude is still on TV. He's one of the best like pro wrestling minds there's ever been, but he's also like top 3 promo of all time. Like, he is just so good at selling a match. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. It was great. Go check that out if you haven't. But Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes was the main event of Monday Night Raw tonight. Did it deliver? Yeah, it was a really good match, I thought. I mean, the whole point of this match, or the whole crux of the match, was Solo Sikoa is not out there to necessarily win. He's out there to weaken Cody Rhodes, to make sure that Cody is not 100% going into WrestleMania. And if that was the goal, and if that's what they set out to do, I think they did a pretty good job of it because Cody took some abuse in this match. He like Solo Sikoa did not let him go easy. And like honestly, I think that this match was exactly what it needed to be. We saw we saw the rest of the bloodline, Sans Roman come out, the Usos came out, and they distracted Cody a little bit. Solo had an advantage for like a hot second, but he was able to kick out of a cutter, and then Cody kicked out of the Samoan spike, but Cody won. Lol. That's what's gonna happen. Like you thought Cody Rhodes was gonna lose? That's hilarious. Cody won. He was telling Paul Heyman, he's like, I want all the smoke. Bring out whoever you want. Bring out Roman. Bring out the Usos. Bring out whoever. Bring out The Rock. Doesn't matter. I'm Cody Rhodes, and I'm gonna win that title. He looks very determined. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Again, I'm on like the side where Cody doesn't win the title at WrestleMania, but he does win the title eventually. I think he needs to lose in order to make that story better, but we'll see. I'm going to take a quick look at this poll. So I put up a poll before this started. It looks like, and this is like only a half an hour ago, so 75% or 75 people have voted so far, and usually they get a lot of higher numbers, so don't take this as face value, but just initial reactions to Raw from the Real Take audience. 56% say good, 9% say bad, and 35% of you said meh. If I had to break it down like that in one of those categories, this is like meh leading to good. Because like here's the thing, this was not like an unwatchable show. The weird thing about Raw is I've always graded Raw on a curve because Raw can be downright unwatchable. Like there was a while there where watching Raw was like watching season 8 of Game of Thrones, where I'm just like, you are making all of the wrong decisions you could. And then watching Raw sometimes is like watching like, the most basic generic one season long sitcom that gets canceled like at the end of the series, like thing ever, because it's just the same thing recycled over and over again. I mean, I prefer the season 8 of Game of Thrones to the recycled crap because I hated all the rematches that Vince was doing. But I mean, Raw was usually a frustrating show for me to watch. This was like not frustrating. Was it boring at sometimes? Sure, but I thought that this was like leaning good, like on the borderline of good and meh. That being said, I mean, if you liked it, that's great, and I want to hear from you. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a question, comment, concern in the chat. Let's talk about some of these matches. The other thing that I didn't talk about was Austin Theory cut a promo on the show. And the promo was Theory standing in the middle of a ring before the show, and there was nobody in the audience. It was like a vignette or a pre-tape that they had. And he was like, you know what the difference between you and me is, John? I don't need to be out in front of the people, because the only reason I do what I do is because of me. I'm Austin Theory. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to beat you, John. And he's had a line in there where he said, I'm not trying to be the next John Cena. I'm like, bro, that's literally what you're being built up to be by Vince, or you were being built up to be by Vince. Because whatever it was, Vince saw like John Cena in this dude, which is a hard thing to put on a guy like Austin Theory, who's like very young. He's talented for sure. He's got a lot better. I will say that. Austin Theory has got a lot better. He is no longer go-away heat for me. He's still like meh for me, but like he's no longer go-away heat, and I definitely see the appeal that he has. As far as his match with John Cena, man, like it's hard for me not to pick John Cena to win that match. Like, there is obviously a part of me that's like, Austin Theory should probably win that and get that victory over Cena to like cement him for moving forward. But man, like Cena winning at Mania, winning that U.S. title at Mania, that would mean something, man. It would be a cool moment. And we know how much WWE loves those moments. They had they had a throwback video or whatever, a flashback to Rollins getting attacked by Logan Paul last week. I love that Logan Paul is a heel in WWE because ain't nobody trying to cheer that guy. Dude is like one of the most hated celebrities on the planet, and they got to lean into that, and I'm glad they finally are. Rhea Ripley also cut a promo. Might as well talk about that. Rhea Ripley cut a promo, and it was a weird promo. Here's what I'll say. Content was really spot on. I liked the content of it. Delivery was kind of weird because it was an interview segment, and instead of looking at the camera when she was delivering the lines like, Charlotte, this Sunday, it's going to be my destiny versus your legacy, and my destiny will not be denied. It was a really good content. I love the content. But instead of looking here, Charlotte, she was like looking off into the distance. Wasn't even looking at her interviewer. Looking off into the distance. And I think they were going for like, some sort of like mysterious goth, like, they were trying to like make it look menacing or whatever. It didn't come across to me that way. It just came across as a bit lame and a bit weird that I was like, why aren't you addressing Charlotte like directly to camera, or you're not even like answering the interviewer's questions? It's just like, I don't know. It came across as weird and I don't know. I just didn't like it. Interesting thing was like, there was a lack of Bianca Belair on this show. And she has a big match against Asuka coming up. I was very surprised barely see her even mentioned on this show, but what are you going to do? But yeah, fun times. That was Raw, guys. This is going to be an interesting week. Guys, again, I'm going to try to be doing these throughout the rest of the week. So definitely be sure to tune in. We got a lot of content. We got a lot of content scheduled for the next few days for leading up to WrestleMania and during WrestleMania. We have the post show that's in the books for Raw. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. live right here on the channel. Me and Trevor are going to be doing OT Graps talking about WrestleMania, some of the best moments in WrestleMania history, some of the worst moments in WrestleMania history, and we're also going to be talking, of course, about WrestleMania 39, the show of shows this Saturday and Sunday as well. Wednesday night, I got a special Dynamite post show because I was like, why don't I show AEW some love during WrestleMania week? So we're going to be doing a Dynamite post show as soon as that show's over. Friday night SmackDown post show as well. And of course, post shows and reviews for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2 immediately following those events on Saturday and Sunday, respectively. YouTube.com/Real Take Wrestling for all your wrestling related needs. Guys, again, I've enjoyed this. We're going to continue to do more of these throughout the entire week. So tune in. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Tune into the streams. Leave your questions beforehand. They're already up, so you can hit that little bell on each of them. And let me know any questions there. You guys, I believe, can also leave super chats beforehand, so definitely consider leaving a super chat as well. WrestleMania week. It's weird. This felt like a go-home show, right? Like it felt like they were plugging. This was like WWE said, okay, we're just gonna plug everything as much as we can and make sure the line is clear of like what's happening this Sunday. But it's very, very interesting to see like I like the feeling I'm getting. I'm not like, this isn't like a WrestleMania go home feeling I'm getting. It's very interesting. Regardless, it is WrestleMania week, so if there was a WrestleMania go home show. Again, guys, thank you to all of those who joined me today. If you haven't already done so, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be sure to subscribe to Real Take Sports as well for all your sports-related needs. We talked about Lamar Jackson. As a Ravens fan, I'm very pissed about that, but Lamar Jackson demanding a trade, so go over to youtube.com/Real Take Sports for that. And subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you guys want me to make videos of. I'm trying to get more creative with the videos that I make. I made one about why Cody should lose, and I explained at length why I think Cody should lose at WrestleMania. I also made a video about this whole CM Punk situation and him calling out Jon Moxley, Dave Meltzer, and Chris Jericho. Bray Wyatt apparently saying goodbye to WWE. That's also in the archives. That came out last week. So try to get more creative, but let me know the type of content you guys want to see. WrestleMania Raw in the books. Up next, OT Graps tomorrow night, 7 p.m. right here, youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling. Until next time, everyone, hope you guys have a wonderful start to your week. Be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.